Janae Coleman Brigham, one of the co-instructors with Paul Embertson of Power Systems Journey. And we're here today with Robert Blake of Native Son Community Power. Bob, could you introduce yourself, your name, your affiliation, and any other thing you want to share about yourself?
Sure. My name is Robert Blake. I am the Executive Director of Native Son Community Power Development, owner of Solar Bear, and tribal citizen of the Red Lake Nation.
Great, thank you. What have you been up to?
Yes, great question, Janae. What have I been up to lately? I've been, I've been working a lot on electric vehicle, our electric vehicle project at Native Son, workforce development, and doing a lot of planning and development, and then submitting applications on the Solar Bear side for different solar projects around the state of Minnesota.
What do you think are the lessons that we can learn from energy history to inform our future?
Yeah, great question. What can we learn from energy history, to inform our decisions in the future? I really feel like the community planning, the community benefits plan, having the community involved in planning, I think would be really great instead of just us just saying, here it is, take it or leave it. I think having the community involved at the onset or the beginning, I believe we're going to have better outcomes. And so I would stress more on the community involvement side, I think, when we're doing energy planning.
And perhaps related, in this time of shifting energy policies and priorities, what do you think are the longer term trends?
Boy, the longer term trends, I believe, in the energy sector is really going to be how do we get transmission? How do we get transmission? How do we replace all these old transmission lines? How do we get that so we can distribute all the renewable energy that we're going to need in the future? With data centers, electric vehicles, all these different, let's just be honest. If we're going to start manufacturing back here on the States and bringing manufacturing jobs here, we're going to have a lot of energy and a lot of distribution. So, that is the long-term, I think, hurdle for our transition. And that to me is something that we're going to have to get our heads wrapped around, and we're going to have to figure out how to deploy and implement.
What kind of energy stories do you think would engage the public to learn and care about energy transition issues?
I believe the kind of energy stories that the public would love to hear and learn are the ones that are authentic, that are real, that, have a real story behind them, real people, and not just something that's fabricated by the energy companies, right? Like, I think people are looking for authentication. I can't say it right now, but I think that that's what they want. And I think when you have that, and then we focus in on that, real people, real stories, I believe that, we're going to have, a more collaborative sort of, process, and that's what I think the public wants.
What values and goals do you think should inform the energy transition?
I think the values and goals that should inform the energy transition I think a lot of times we kind of think cheap, right, is the way to go. But I really feel like the anything worth having is worth putting time into, and being able to include those communities that have been historically marginalized, right, to be a part of this transition, through workforce development programs, through jobs, through advocacy, through engagement. I think all of those need to be a part of this energy transition. And then I don't believe people really understand how critical energy is in their lives. Like, it's everywhere. It's you can't do anything out here without it. And so, I think when people start to realize that, I've been in rooms where the aha button goes off, the aha moment, like, wow, this is really a part of my life. And so, I think the more education that we can provide, the better outcomes we're going to have.
How might the energy transition reimagine our electric generation, distribution, use, ownership, and everything else about our energy systems to achieve our goals?
Yeah, how do we reimagine our energy systems to meet our goals, essentially? Um, I've always liked the cooperative, like, ownership model. Like, I don't know. I like community solar. What can I say? Um, and I think people like community solar. And so, the folks that are participating in those programs seem to have a really good experience, and I think they feel good. They feel good about their energy is clean, right? And so, I think that is going to get more and more popular, the cooperative ownership model. So just like the community solar, and I think the cooperative ownership model is going to get more and more acceptable as the divide between the rich and the poor get bigger and bigger. You know what I mean? So, I just feel like the cooperative model hasn't seen its day yet. I think it's coming, and I think it's going to be huge.
What do you want people to know about the energy transition?
What do I want people to know about the energy transition? I want them to know that they can be involved, that they can be a part of it. Like, this is you. Like, you don't have to have an engineering degree. You don't have to, be some, journeyman electrician, although all that helps, don't get me wrong. Um, you know, I think it's just that you just have to want to have the effort, right? Everything is effort. You can have everything, but without the effort, you can't have nothing. And so I think if you're just willing to put in the effort, you can pick all of this up, and you can have it be a part of um your life, and how you share that with the rest of your community, right? So that's what I would say, is that you can be involved. That's what I really want to stress, is you don't have to be someone special. You just want to have to be able to put in the effort, and put in the time, and so many great people in this space.
As a guest speaker in the Power Systems Journey class, are there any thoughts or experiences that you've carried with you in terms of the approach?
As a guest speaker in the Power Journey class, is there anything that I would love to share with those that are watching this right now? You know what? I would say, um, to keep hope, right? To have the hope. I know climate change can be kind of daunting. I know the statistics out there can seem kind of, is it even worth it? And I would tell everyone that, it is. and to not lose faith and to keep hope alive. Si se pueda, the old keep hope alive, but just that, um, the next generation is watching us, and it's so exciting to meet those students in the power systems, power journey courses that you teach, Janae, because they're they just remind me how hopeful I am, because they're so smart, so brilliant, and I'm just excited, for their future, for my own future, and it involves all of us, you know. So that's what I would say. Yep.
What else is on your mind?
What else is on my mind? There's a lot of talk right now. I think amongst different energy providers around net metering, and what does that entail, and you know s- uh there's a lot of pushback from the EPA. I don't think that this is going to stop. I think the train has left the station. There's too much investment happening. The goal, the payback and the technology is just so good. um I just don't see none of this stopping right now. So that's what's on my mind, really, is just how incredible this industry is, and how much more and farther this has to go. So this is the world's greatest man-made machine, the electrical grid in the United States, and it is got the biggest disruptor, which is renewable energy, solar, and it's just going to be incredible. And for all the wealth that was built in this system, I just want to see it redistributed equitably across so many sectors, and we have the opportunity to do that. So, I just want to let people know that, you know, to keep that hope alive, and to continue to do their part. And, this is gonna be an exciting ride.
Well, now there's a portion for open discussion, and I realized that really none of our questions were um, suited to draw out some unique things you do and have to say. And I wonder if you could speak a little bit to the tribal energy sovereignty movement, and your involvement in that, and just what for those that aren't aware of it, what should people know about that movement and its potentials and its progress?
Yeah, yeah. I think the tribal energy sovereignty movement and the progress of it, and in my involvement, really has been exciting, because I can't, I can't, well, I mean, I suppose that food sovereignty, there's some other things that are happening in the space, that have really garnered the attention of Native people. But I think, hearing from folks that are in this and that are wanting to get involved, they realize the connection to the culture and what it means to take care of the planet and the environment. And, it's just something that they're born with. It's their right. It's their birthright. They were given this. And, I always like to say that to the students and to the kids, and when I talk to them, and I see their eyes, and their eyes kind of light up. And, I just hope they understand that, they have a purpose, and they have a reason for being here, and being involved in this space, and doing this work. They can, make a great living, make a good living, and still at the same time, do something positive for the community, and for the planet and the world around us. And I just think that kind of recognition of knowing that you're a part of something bigger than yourself, and this is a part of your cultural teachings. I just think it resonates so much in Native people, and that's what really excites me about the energy sovereignty movement. Especially when I look at the social ills and the problems that affect the Native community, whether it be drug addiction, alcoholism, missing murdered Indigenous women. The having this purpose, giving folks the purpose to work in this field, in this space, having a reason to get up in the morning and to have their place in the circle, just means that many more people and lives will be saving because of this work. So that's what really excites me about this and where this movement and this work is going, really.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much, Bob, for talking with us today. It's been a pleasure, knowing you and having you be a part of the class. It's been a real inspiration to our students and to Paul and I. So thank you so much for being a partner in all this and telling us about all the exciting work and reflections on our energy transition.
Thank you, Janae and Paul, for having me. And I look forward to come visiting your class in the future. So exciting to be a part of this. Thank you, Miigwech.